One of the biggest causes of depression among the elderly that I've noticed while I was working at the hospital was the fact that they're alone. You see, in Romania, a massive number of young people have emigrated to greener pastures, to Britain, Italy, Spain, or France, and left their family behind. And it's not just the fact that you're alone, but you look around and you see everyone celebrating Christmas. They're celebrating the holidays amongst their family and friends. Whenever they need something, they have a younger individual to help them out. And everyone else is busy. Everyone else has their own families. People don't have the same time to hang out like they used to. And this causes depression. Human beings are not meant to be isolated. Now, I want to make absolutely sure that people understand that I'm not saying that if you have kids, you're guaranteed that you're not going to be alone when you're old. Of course, there's a lot of children that have no problem throwing their parents into a old man shelter home. But if you don't have kids, then you are guaranteed to be alone. And I noticed this is a big problem, and you have a lot of declining in divorce rates, and you also have a lot of men that are pointing out there is no advantage in getting married. Because what? Like, you get a paper from the state, does that mean you love the wife more? Does that mean anything? If anything else, it's a downside, because if you have a divorce, then she can take your wealth, she can take stuff that you owned, and a lot of men are finding that to be unfair. And I had a conversation recently with one such person who was judging me for marrying, and I pointed out I didn't marry because of love. I married because I believe in the institution of marriage, and also it's because I want my future children to have a stable household. Because without parents, studies show that bad things can happen. So that is the main reason that I got married. But when you see a lot of women posting things like this on Reddit, you kind of understand where the other argument is coming from. So this lady said that, how do I tell my husband that he is no longer good enough for me? She got fit, she got promoted. There are dozens of men at my work that are better looking, drive better cars, stay in larger homes, that have manifested interest in me. I decided I deserve more and better. So, of course, me, what's good for me? And you're going to see a lot of women that were encouraging her to dump the husband. So, it's kind of interesting because marriage is a social contract. And if I make a contract with you and I say I'm going to dig a ditch in front of your house, but then your neighbor pays me double and offers me better working conditions with the condition that I do it in the same time I promise to make your ditch, well, you can sue me for breach of contract. You can ask for damages. Like, I am the guilty party here. I made the promise to you, and it's not your business why I'm not keeping that promise. It's not your fault that I'm getting a better deal. I should have not signed the contract with you. So violating any other contract in society comes with punishment to the person that violates it. But when it comes to marriage, that doesn't seem to be the case. When it comes to marriage, this lady can just file for a divorce, and even though the husband apparently didn't abuse her, didn't mistreat her, didn't do anything to deserve this, he might lose a part of his wealth. He might have to pay alimony. He might have to pay for child support. He might actually lose custody to the kids, or only see the kids once or twice a week. So yeah, it is, as a lot of people say, a bad deal. And this is why a lot of men aren't marrying, and it actually increases the rate of depression for women, because human beings aren't meant to go at life alone. We are meant to find a companion. And it's not just about sex, it's just about sharing the burden. It's for better or for worse. So imagine the opposite. Imagine if a man gets married with a woman and she's getting into a car crash, and now she's paralyzed, and the man would say, oh, well, I guess, I can do better. I guess I can find just other girls now. And he's going to file for a divorce. How would society look at that man? It's a cultural thing. When a woman does it, you get to see in the comment section other women agreeing that what's best for her is the most important. But what if it's a man, woman gets in a car crash, and it's not best for him to remain with her and take care of her, but it's the moral thing to do. It's your moral duty. It's your moral obligation. You made the vow for better or for worse. No one forced you to make the vow. You didn't have to, but you did. So now it's your obligation to make sure that at the worst, you're still there for her. It's expected. But I guess this is the interesting thing. In the cultural sense, men still have duties, but when it comes to women, society considers it misogynistic to say that you have a duty. So in this particular case, she got promoted and she used to be poorer, she used to be less fit, she used to be more ugly, and one man decided to look past those things and marry her. But now that she improved all those aspects, now she's like, oh, well, screw him. So that man, which took her, could have took another woman. He could have been happy. He could have had a better life. But that is it. It's narcissism, ego, massive levels of it, which society encourages. You don't think about other people anymore. You don't have empathy. It's like, what about the guy that I've probably ruined now? Because, he could have gotten with another woman. He could have been happy. Now you're going to get him to go through a divorce. So you're going to hurt him a lot. And she doesn't care. And the people in the comment section don't care. Because again, that's the thing. It's the comment section. It's not just like, oh, look, I found something on the internet. No, I found something on the internet where everyone is agreeing, at least the overwhelming majority, that what she is doing is the best thing. Like, she has to look for her interests. She has to do what's good for her. If she wasn't married, I would agree with people. But again, she made the vow. She went in front of the altar. Now, a lot of people say that this has to do with feminism, that, well, if it's better for the women, then we should leave it at that, because women have been marginalized previously, so now it's liberation, it's great for them. What if she has a son, and the son has the misfortune of meeting a woman exactly like her? Does she not care? Do you think she would like that? Do you think she would enjoy raising a son in this society where people like this are encouraged and promoted? I mean, this was on the top of the forum posts. This was way lifted. People like this. This is great. Zero responsibility, zero consequences for your actions. Only care about yourself. Do not care about other people. I think maybe it's because a lot of people now view the government as the father. So the government will take care of other people. Just pay your taxes and the government will give welfare. The government will give security. The government will give everything. So we don't need to be duty bound. We don't need to be virtuous. We don't need to do anything because the government will fix all the problems. Oh, women are suffering from depression? It's okay. The government will throw some taxpayer money to some psychologists so that women can go through and fix their depression. It's pretty much how the world thinks nowadays. But anyway, sorry for the rant. It was just something that I found interesting, and I wanted to address the, I guess, subject of marriage. But yeah, I'm really curious to hear from people who would encourage others to get married. Like, from the position of a man, what is the advantage? All right? Like, if you have nothing good to say, I don't care, because I already know the other subject. Like, I already know why men shouldn't get married. I've heard it. But I'm really curious for myself to hear the advantage, right? Because I personally think marriage is a great thing. I would like to encourage my son to get married if I'm going to have one. So I need to know, what is the positive? Like, out of all the negative, if there's some positivity left. And if there is, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.